Welcome to Speak for Yourself, Marcellus Wiley. Yeah. Emmanuel Acho, kind of here. You almost here. What you going with what's the look, bro? No jacket today, bro. It's draft day, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to... You flexing today. A little something. You flexing a little something. Lost member of the barge right here. All right, let's get to tonight's NFL draft. We're a few hours away from finding out where Mac Jones will call home this season when coverage of the NFL draft begins tonight, 8 Eastern on NFL Network. Jones has been rumored to go as high as number 3 to the 49ers, but the New York Post says his hype is getting out of control, and our own Joe Klatt called him a, quote, poor man's Joe Burrow. Acho, what concerns you most about Mac Jones?
I got 3 primary concerns, big dog. The first one is if he doesn't start right away. Let's assume he goes to the Niners and he doesn't start right away. You know what they say about idle time in a church?
What?
Idle time is the devil's playground now.
It is.
Now, we've already seen it with Mac Jones. He was highly touted, given a lot coming into Alabama, 4-star recruit. He didn't have to start right away. Jalen Hurts was there. Tua Tagovailoa was there. What happened? Idle time, devil's playground, DUI. I told you about that yesterday. Won't get into it again. But Mac Jones, freshman year, DUI, idle time, devil's playground. What happens if now, number 3 overall pick, you bred it up and you ain't got to start?
I'm listening.
You living the best life position in the world. It's that backup quarterback. So that's my first primary concern. My second concern is this. In the NFL, 24% of games are 3 points or less. 51% of games are decided by 7 points or less.
Okay.
Mac Jones only played 1 game last year within 7 points. That was the SEC championship game against Florida. Outside of that, his next closest game was a 15-point game against Ole Miss. Mac Jones, you're not about to walk out every game this year and be leading in the 4th quarter. Mac Jones was only playing a game within 1 possession in the 3rd quarter, and that was once. Every game in the 4th quarter, it wasn't even close. It was just Alabama out there whooping them cats. That's different. That's different in the NFL.
Whoop them cats.
And my final concern, against Michigan in the bowl game last year, Mac Jones rolled out Devontae Smith, Heisman winner, Jerry Jeudy, first-round pick wide receiver, Henry Ruggs, first-round pick wide receiver, Jalen Waddle, first-round pick wide receiver, about to be.
Sound like an NFL team.
Najee Harris, about to be a first-round pick at running back. So Mac Jones rolled out there against a bunch of Michigan DBs that are not known for their speed with a Heisman winner, a first-round pick, a first-round pick, a first-round pick, turn around behind him, a first-round pick. That's not what you got in San Fran, big dog. You got George Kittle. Prayerfully, he stays healthy. You got my dog Raheem Mostert. That's a beast at running back. He's a speed burner. And then out at wide receiver, you got Ayuk. That's about it. That's where it starts and where it stops right there for the 49ers. You don't have first round. You got Kittle, you got first round, and you got a burner behind you. Mind you, you're playing against 2 Pro Bowl safeties twice a year in Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. That's just for the Seahawks. I ain't even talk about Budda Baker, Pro Bowl safety, All-Pro safety for the 49ers. For the Arizona Cardinals. I haven't even gotten there yet. So the plethora of talent and the talent disparity that Mac Jones had is my third and final concern.
Okay, I had to list all those concerns right now, and I wrote them down here because I don't have any concerns, so I had to write down what you have. And you know what? Being the married man up here, being in so many relationships, including engagements, I realize what you have. You have no concerns. You just got complaints. And you know what? I'm telling you, when you in high society, these are first world problems. These are all complaints.
What's the difference, big
What's
dog?
the difference? Okay, a concern is not a first world problem. It's a third world problem. You know what? Are we gonna eat? Like, simple. You got this complaint. What is there to eat? You got this complaint. I don't want that. That doesn't go with that. I don't like this. I want ground chicken. I don't want ground beef. Dog, you just gave me luxurious concerns, which are complaints in my world. My wife does this a lot. I do it too. All right. You just went through a relationship. Beautiful woman. Oh, Acho finally found her. And he's scared to tell his boys because they're going to laugh. Like, yeah, right. Get to know her. Then you're getting to know her. You're like, oh, my God, amazing. And then you're like, I'm still scared to tell everybody because I just don't want to look like that guy who's in front of his skis, just all in love, sucker for love, as they say. But damn, dog, you get to a place where you're overcritical, overanalyzing to the point where you are trying to turn these concerns you're making up into complaints. Let me tell you why. I was a second-round draft choice who didn't get off the bench, and I ain't getting no DUIs. I had a Buffalo Bills flag on an expedition riding through Crenshaw, and I ain't getting any trouble. Look, he's going to live his life. Mac Jones going to be excited. I'm going through all your complaints. No tight games. I've never heard anybody in sports history do a better job of turning a positive into a negative than you just did right there.
It's a concern.
It sounds great. Oh, he ain't even playing any tight games. What's he going to do when he get in tight games? I think he's going to do what he did because he did it in college. He made sure that the games weren't tight, and if they were, I'm going to get us back to a point where it's not in contention. That's a positive. It's good to not be in tight games when you're going against competition that is top level, top notch, and you're still better than that because the cream rises to the top. So in the NFL, obviously, it's going to be more contentious. We get that. But don't act like this guy doesn't have it because of the talent around him. You almost use the talent around him to undermine how great he is instead of saying he's just as good as the talent around him and he made it better. If not, why is he setting Alabama school records at the quarterback position? They've had quarterbacks before. We know about Tua, we know about Jalen Hurts, etc. And he's better than those guys in some statistics and some categories. I remind you of all these quarterbacks that are littering the draft this year. Who's number one in terms of completion percentage? Who's number one in terms of passer rate? Number one in all of college. Him, Mac Jones. When you talk about him, who is second in passing touchdowns? All these things considered, he was the best of the best at the best school. Please don't turn that into a concern. Oh, sorry, Acho, into a complaint. Got to bring in Fox college football analyst Joe Klatt. So, Joe, what concerns or complaints you have the most about Mac Jones?
You know what? I mean, I'm having a hard time concentrating because I'm just thinking about dinner time in my household with my 9, 7, and 4-year-old and thinking about this one wants chicken nuggets. This one wants mac and cheese. And I'm like, that's 100% what I've got going on right now. So, Marcellus, you just took me right to that first world problem of dinner time. Yes. And to your point, listen, and I was going to come on here and say, like, well, man, his teammates are too good. That's my concern. I was going to say that, but that is a first world problem. So here's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do.
Talk to me.
I'm going to just change the verbiage, and I think then it makes sense.
All right.
It's no longer my concern. It is just an unknown. We don't know how Mac could potentially play when the chips are even on the table, right. and he doesn't have the stacked deck, right? Because, listen, everything that Emmanuel said is absolutely correct. He did have all those first-rounders last year. He did have an excellent play caller this year. And then it comes down to this, guys. When you're the trigger man, right? When you're the quarterback, it's like apples and oranges. The games in which you can go out there and you can do things because you want to do them. We're balanced. We can run it. We can throw it when we want to. And when you have to do things because you have to do them. Okay, there is a massive difference between the two from a quarterback's perspective, from the pressure on the quarterback. It might not feel all that different for everybody else. You're just executing the details of what's called out there, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But when you're the quarterback and you get into a game and you don't have the ability to be balanced, you don't have the ability to create third and short, you don't have the ability to play with the lead, those things create an immense amount of pressure, and we just don't quite know how Mac is going to deal with that. Now, I love his game, and in the middle of the year, before anyone else was saying this, guys, I was saying, hey, Mac Jones is playing himself into the first round. My one concern, and this is where I'll move to concern, Marcellus, is that he's not better than Lance or Fields. So my concern is that he would get overdrafted and overvalued. I just don't think that he has the value to get selected over those two players specifically.
That's good. That's a way to drop the hammer on him, Klatt. Because I agree with you. I agree with you that he's not better than Fields. I'm not a huge fan of Lance. I just think he's too raw, but I can settle with you there. Let's talk about the concern, which should be the most pressing for all of us. I heard Mina Kimes say this, a colleague at another network. She said, name the last quarterback that's a traditional pocket passer drafted in the last 10 rounds to succeed. And I started thinking, because I heard it coming into the show, and I was thinking. I was like, wait a second. She might be onto something. Even if you look at the quarterbacks under 38 in the playoffs last year, Mac Jones would have run the third slowest 40-yard dash time. The only one slower is Patrick Mahomes, and we know he has mobility, and Baker Mayfield, and we all saw him in college. We know he has short area mobility, even if he ran a slower 40 time than Mac Jones. Baker Mayfield 4.81, Mac Jones 4.79. Klatt, Sell, my bigger concern, and I think we can all at least agree upon this being a concern, is Big Dog Mac Jones doesn't have any mobility. And when you look at Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Josh Allen, when you look at the quarterbacks right now that are thriving, particularly the young quarterbacks thriving, Justin Herbert, there is a degree and a ability to be mobile. There is an ability of mobility that Mac Jones seemingly lacks. Maybe he just didn't show it to us, but he did show us the little pot belly that he didn't get trimmed up when he was in Alabama. So maybe it's in there, but I ain't seen it just yet. But I don't think he has the ability of mobility, and in this day and age of the NFL, that should be concerning.
Oh, man, we are reaching. I mean, reaching
right here,
so
right
far.
Here. Right here.
We're reaching so far, and we want to grasp it, but it's not within our reach. Man, we are having silly conversations and arguments just to nitpick, putting them through the draft grinder as we must do our job. And I'm not saying that what you're saying could be wrong, but I'm just saying right now, I don't see it on his resume where you're right. Here's the thing, style of play? Whoo! Let's tell our friend Mina Kimes this. Let's talk about who's won the Super Bowl in the last, 20 years. Looks like statues to me. Let's go out there. Tom Brady got 7. Peyton Manning got a couple. Eli Manning got a couple. Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, Breeze, Dilfer, Brad Johnson. Oh, and let's talk about the ones who can move around, get out the way, sell the tickets, and not win the Super Bowl. Actually, in the last 21 years, 16 statues have won the Super Bowl, and only 5 mobile quarterbacks, if you want to talk about Wilson, Roethlisberger, Rodgers, and Mahomes. My point is, who cares if you dance or not? Who cares if you can move around or not? That's not the music they're playing in the NFL. What they're playing in the NFL is stay still, because the fastest thing on the field is that football. And the best offensive line is a decisive quarterback. And last time I checked the film, even David Pollack agrees, Mac Jones had the best film. Y'all keep forgetting who Mac Jones is. Number 1, completion percentage. Number 1, passing yards per attempt, efficiency rating. 2nd in passing touchdowns. Forget all that. He played with the best players on the best team. He still broke Alabama's single-season passing yard record. That's kind of interesting. What about this? He broke FBS single completion percentage for a season. You mean every quarterback ever? Yeah. Who? Mac Jones. So I'm not going to nitpick. I'm like anybody. I know that no one's perfect. There's going to be something lost in transition and translation from him going from the college game and Alabama to the pro level. But let's not forget, hey, Joe, he's not going to Jacksonville. He's going to a team 2 years removed from the Super Bowl. And the only reason they're removed from the Super Bowl is because they had a quarterback that was injured. You fix the quarterback position, San Fran may still be flying.
I hear you, but we all know, right? And Marcellus, you know this.
Yeah.
You talk with defensive people, defensive coordinators, you watch the game, and a quarterback that can extend plays and get you 2, 3, 4 first downs a game is invaluable. That's invaluable.
Facts.
For your team offensively. And anybody would take that and want that, right? And aspire towards that. Now, having said that, I feel like, Emmanuel, your whole objection, to Mac there about the mobility, I felt like my cousin Vinny. I was like, man, this all sounds very good. It's well thought out. It's accurate. There's no doubt about it. And then the judge leans over and is like, overruled because of Tom Brady, right? Like because of Tom Brady. And it's not the wrong argument. It's just that Tom has destroyed that, right? The history of the Super Bowl has destroyed that. And unfortunately, the NFL is falling into a little bit of what the NBA has fallen into, whereas there's regular season formula, and then there's a playoff formula.
Facts.
And in the regular season, the mobility of the quarterback is so valuable, right? You can win MVPs, you can get first seeds, but in the playoffs, when things get tightened down a little bit, you know what comes at a premium? The ability to operate in the pocket, control the game from the pocket, and then be accurate with the football. Is the football on time and on target in big, crucial moments? That's really what it boils down to, in particular when you're talking about championship games or even Super Bowls, which is why Brady has had so much success. One last thing I would leave you on with Mac Jones. If you look at all the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, let's just take the last 10, right? You brought them up, Marcel. The last 10 Super Bowl winning quarterbacks. It's not really style that connects them. It's not athleticism. It's not arm strength. It's not accuracy. It's not offense-specific schematics. None of that. Do you know what actually binds them together? There's actually one constant: experience in college. It's fascinating to watch. Do you know the quarterback of the last 10 quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl? The quarterback with the fewest number of college passing attempts was Tom Brady with over 600. The average is 1,200 attempts in college. These guys are experienced. They start 35 games. They win in the high 20s of those. They throw for 60 touchdowns, and they attempt about 1,200 passes. In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you probably attempt about 1,200 or maybe even 1,500 in high school, then another 1,200, and you start getting up there, and then a few years in the league. You know when you're really good and you can potentially win a Super Bowl? When you get to that 6,000, 7,000 attempts in your life. You know, you get close to that Malcolm Gladwell 10,000-hour rule, if you will. That's the one thing that binds Super Bowl quarterbacks. And a lot of these guys outside of Trevor Lawrence, they don't have that experience. And Mac certainly doesn't in his 1 year.
This why I like you, Klatt. That right there is why I love me some Joel Klatt. Because he's going to tell me something I ain't heard before that really makes me think. I appreciate that. But, Klatt, here's the issue. And, Sel, this is really a question for you, but I think, Klatt, you may chew on this as well. Do you chase the outlier or do you chase the norm? That's where I'm at right there now with all this. Because Tom Brady, to me, is the outlier. Tom Brady is an outlier in every statistic. Tom Brady was drafted in the 6th round. Tom Brady has won the most ever. Tom Brady is playing to the age of 44, maybe even 45. Tom Brady has the fewest passing attempts, like Joel Klatt said, in college of the recent Super Bowl winners. Tom Brady is an outlier. Now, I know, Sel, you have different orchestrations of the sentences. If you follow the rule, then you're not an outlier. But damn right. By the metrics of how Tom Brady compares to all other quarterbacks as far as playing over 40, outlier. Drafted in the 6th round with this much success, outlier. Winning this many Super Bowls, outlier. I don't think you can chase the outlier. I would rather chase the norm. You can chase the outlier if you want to, but they're an outlier for a reason. You don't see them very often. So if the 49ers are like, well, let's chase the Tom Brady formula, which is statuesque, then yeah, do that if you want to, but look at the Super Bowl champions since the 2010s. Yeah, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, but who was the quarterback that led them to 11-2 prior to getting hurt? Carson Wentz. Look at Russell Wilson. He was mobile. Look at Patrick Mahomes. He was mobile. You have your outliers, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, two of the greatest, if not the two greatest quarterbacks of all time. But outside of having the two greatest quarterbacks of all time, since Russell Wilson won, it's mobile quarterbacks that got them there or mobile quarterbacks that won it. So if I'm the Niners, I'm just not convinced that chasing the outlier is a greater approach than chasing the norm.
Real quick, and I know that we can move on, but real quick, I would just further that point. Manning's Super Bowl win with Denver in Super Bowl 50 and last year with Brady, those two Super Bowls were actually won with defense.
Correct.
You know,
Correct.
But you could argue that Russell's was one with defenses.
You think? Let me say this. You talking about outliers or norms. I don't want to out you, Acho, but you a liar up here because Tom Brady's not an outlier. Tom Brady, #1 on the Mount Rushmore. You know who's else up there? 6th rounder, Tom Brady. 3rd round, Joe Montana. Oh, do I hear Bart Starr want to talk to me? Roger Staubach, all these low draft picks at the quarterback position. They're not outliers. You're just going to get out as a liar. Let's get to another top quarterback at tonight's draft. Justin Fields. Ooh, a lot of controversy around him. He was projected to be a top 3 pick after the college football season ended. But according to reports, his stock has been falling. Peter King says the Niners' #3 pick is a, quote, 2-horse race between Mac Jones and Trey Lance. And Fields is apparently out of the running. So, Acho, you surprised Fields' draft stock has fallen?
I am, because in perspective of every quarterback's flaws, and all the quarterbacks we have flaws, and it's our job to be nitpicky about those flaws, Justin Fields' flaws are no greater than his competitors. Justin Fields, Ohio State quarterbacks, they haven't done well recently. Well, the greatest Alabama quarterback in recent history, maybe the greatest college quarterback based upon efficiency, was battling against Ryan Fitzpatrick last year to keep his job. So Alabama quarterbacks haven't done well recently, and BYU quarterbacks since 1990s are fairly non-existent. So I don't know how you can say Ohio State quarterbacks haven't done well, use that as condemnation against Justin Fields, but let that not be condemnation against Mac Jones or against Zach Wilson or against Trey Lance. Other things with Justin Fields, they can't process that quickly. but Justin Fields has more touchdown passes over the last 2 years than any of the other quarterbacks. He's up there with Trevor Lawrence. So I am surprised he's fallen cell, because when you look at Justin Fields' flaws versus everyone else's flaws, their flaws are just as great, if not greater. To me, it doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense to me at all. I called 10 of his games, guys, 10. And I feel like I'm frustrated, to be honest with you, because what has perpetuated about Justin is false. Not like, oh, in my opinion, it's just flat false. Okay. And I think that's not right. And it's frustrating to me. The first thing is like this whole thing that kind of like spurred up quietly. There was like, oh, his work ethic was questioned. I did 10 of his games, 10. And never one time did a strength coach, I talked with Mick Moriarty, his head coach Ryan Day, his quarterback coach Mike Yurcich 1 year, other guys since, Urban Meyer. I mean, anybody around that organization, that program, and it was never even a whisper, not even a whisper. And trust me, coaches are honest. Like, you can get this. You'll get from a coach, you'll hear like, well, you know, we're working with him on how to be a student of the game. That's code for like, hey, he doesn't get it yet. You know, he's learning how to become a better worker. That's code for he doesn't know how to work. I never heard that about Justin Fields. I heard the exact opposite. He came in there, he transferred in, his teammates immediately gravitated towards him. He works hard in the weight room. He went on a vegan diet, committed himself to that because he thought it would be better for his body. He single-handedly almost got the Big Ten back onto the field. You don't do that if you're lazy and not a good worker. So that's number one. It was totally false, and it was not right. The second one about the Ohio State quarterback, you brought up some of the statistics. Let me just give you some actual specific statistics between him and Dwayne Haskins, in particular at Ohio State. Dwayne Haskins ran Ryan Day's offense. Justin Fields ran Ryan Day's offense, but did they? It was actually very different. And Ryan and I have sat down and talked about this at length. Dwayne Haskins didn't have the mobility to get away from trouble, so the ball had to get out of his hand quickly. Right. So what did they do? They threw the ball short and allowed playmakers to run after the catch. Ferris Campbell, Terry McLaurin, 50% of the production for passing for Dwayne Haskins came after the catch. Okay. His air production was 42nd in the Power 5 because it was just like this, bang, 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 bang. Right. Get the ball out as quickly as you can with a non-mobile quarterback who really didn't have a great ability to even get away from pressure in the pocket. So there was that part. Justin Fields comes in and it changed. They started attacking the field. They started attacking the intermediate zones. Why? Because he could see the field. He could process information. He was accurate down the field. He had a strong arm, and he was mobile to boot. So he could get himself open to the tune of 70 to 72% of his production in subsequent years, 70 and then 72 of his passing production came through the air. That was number one in Power 5. So it wasn't even a comparable system, right? Like, it's totally different. And to say that he doesn't process information is an out and out lie. He just doesn't. You haven't watched the Penn State game or the Clemson game. You haven't seen him throw those intermediate throws where he's sitting and waiting for a middle field intermediate zone read route. Do you know how long that takes? The slot player has to get over the linebacker. Then he's got to get up to the safety. Is it middle closed? Is it middle open? Now I'm going to bend my route, find the space, and then the ball is going to be released. That's why he holds the ball a little bit. It's not because he can't process information. It's because he's athletic enough to do so, and he's waiting for Chris Olave to attack the space down the field, and then he's attacking with his strong arm and his accuracy. He only had like 9 turnovers in his career. I don't understand the narrative about Justin Fields. He's my second best quarterback in the draft, and the last time we saw him, in particular against Clemson, by the way, against Trevor Lawrence, the presumptive number 1 pick, we were talking about him maybe being that number 1 pick. Why? Because he was putting on a historically great performance against Clemson, one of the great programs in college football, in a game in which we thought, at least I did, he may have lacerated his spleen. Like, he was playing hurt and injured. This guy is a warrior. He's smart. He's competitive. He's athletic. He's got a strong arm. He's got an accurate arm. He can disseminate information quickly. I have no idea why you wouldn't take him in this draft.
Love everything you guys have said. You know me, Acho. You know me, Joe. I flipped the coin as well. So I'm out here agreeing with you guys. Why are people lying on Justin Fields? But then I flipped the coin. Why are some people probably telling the truth about Justin Fields? So let's Give some credence to those who may just be telling the truth. They're not all liars. One, I went through this draft process. Acho, you know about it. The medical clearance is interesting. I remember going through it, and everyone thought, they were saying, Marcel's going to go in the first round. I said, no. I went to Columbia, Ivy League. I went against nerds. Yale, Princeton's going to hurt me in game film. But also I knew something that everyone else didn't know. I didn't pass the medical clearance with flying colors. They showed me a curvature in my back, and they were like, that's a little intense in terms of your body and your body structure. I was like, whatever. First surgery I ever had, back surgery. I'll take you to Deshaun Watson, who didn't pass with flying colors as well. Remember, he had the ACL injury as a freshman at Clemson. What happens when he gets to the NFL? In practice, tears his ACL. Justin Fields has recently, it seems like, comes out and talks about him having epilepsy. Now, I know that no one is going to come out and talk negative about Justin Fields in that respect, but let's just be real how the NFL process works, especially medical clearances. Some teams may be wanting to put out bad information on Justin Fields, knowing about the medical issues that it can attach to, so he can drop, so he can fall right in their laps. There's a little bit of poker being played here. It's not always lies. Let's also look at the fact that he's in a bad neighborhood. He comes from a bad situation. Ohio State quarterback, say what you want, man. Good Lord, it's not ideal. Since 2003, the Buckeyes have had 5 quarterbacks drafted in the league. Only one, Craig Krenzel, had a winning record, and he was 3-2. And I'm not going to attach him to his Ohio State pedigree totally, but just being real, there is a little skepticism, a little poker being played, and I think it was all triggered maybe because of the medical issue. Last thing I will say is, if you're the number 2 prospect overall in the entire NFL draft, you can't play 8 games and in 3 games you have under 200 yards passing. 3 games you have 60% completion percentage or lower. You can't do that. You can't have a 114-yard game against Northwestern, even though they had one of the best defenses out there. You can't run a 4.4 at your pro day, but then you only average 4.4 yards per carry. It has to translate. So I just wanted to flip the coin so we can see the true value of this moment. Maybe some teams are playing with Justin Fields on purpose. Coming up, could Julio Jones be headed to Baltimore? What? We'll tell you how good he will make Lamar Jackson's Ravens. But first, Pete Carroll says the team and Russell Wilson are in a fantastic place. Kumbaya. But we'll tell you if Russ should trust the Seahawks. Next on Speak for Yourself.
Should we have doubts about Zach Wilson saving the Jets? I don't have doubts about him saving the Jets. He won't.
Come on, man.
And I'm not going to put that on his life, but still, it's not going to be Zach Wilson's fault.
Okay.
I've said it before. If I stand on a chair and you stand on the ground, it is easier for you to pull me down than for me to lift you up. Greater men than Zach Wilson have failed. So how are we now going to speak with some sort of conviction or authority and believe that Zach Wilson will save the Jets?
You're talking to a small school player over here. Greater is relative. It's not absolute. People are so married to history that they don't want to look forward to the future. They don't think that there could be greater than their circumstances, greater than their greatest excuse. I don't buy into that.
Something's got to change those.
Yeah. To be an exception, you got to be exceptional. Damn it, it's that simple. I can't do this to Zach Wilson. I could go all day on BYU quarterbacks. I could go all day on Jets quarterbacks. But what I can't do is say, Zach Wilson, look him in the face, you have no chance. I can't.
Let's head to Seattle because the Seahawks offseason was filled with reports of frustration and trade speculation, all centered around Russell Wilson. But head coach Pete Carroll addressed the media yesterday and squashed any thought of his quarterback leaving the Seahawks. Y'all take a listen.
Russ has been our quarterback for a good while, and we've got a long contract with him. And when all of the conversation went about trades and all that, I knew what the truth was. We weren't trading Russell. But we're in great shape, and a long future ahead of us is shared. Russ knows that, and I know that, and we're very clear about it. It's why it was really obvious that we just had to sit back and let the media take its course with the topic, and so we did. And so we're in good shape, and both very clear about that.
So, Sal, should Russell Wilson trust the Seahawks?
Absolutely, you should trust him. This riff, this commotion, us in the media, all of this attention all started because Russell Wilson lit a match. And now he had to put the fire out, talking to Pete Carroll directly, as he should have in the first place. He got caught with his hand in the cookie jar, complaining, exaggerating the situation in Seattle. I remind people he set career highs in completion percentage, passing touchdowns, total yards, and total touchdowns last year. And Russell Wilson had some problems. led the Seahawks to the most points in franchise history last year, and he had all these issues. So Russell Wilson just had to have a come to Russell moment where he realized, and I think Pete Carroll in his wisdom, being an older gentleman, older experienced coach, had to say, hey, Russ, the world isn't mad at you, Russell Wilson. You're not that special. And it's funny when people hear that, and if you've never heard that, you need to hear that. This world ain't caving in on you. This world don't give a damn about you. This world will continue to spin no matter what goes well in your life and what goes bad in your life. This world's like, whatever. And sometimes you have to understand that because Russell Wilson got a little too high on his horse. He got a little too drunk on his greatness. And then Pete Carroll had to tell him it's about the collective. We're all replaceable. The only conversation after you're replaced is who's replacing you? Are they better than you? Or they're worse than you? So Russell Wilson had to know that he fits in as an important, the most important piece to the Seattle Seahawks puzzle. But trust me, they will construct this puzzle with or without you. The NFL will continue with or without you. So this organization had to come to Jesus moment, and Russell Wilson had to come to Russell moment. And I'm glad they did, because when all things settled, they realized how good they really have it.
I co-sign where you're at on this one. But I don't think Russ should trust the Seahawks. I have the same logic as you, but I landed a different place. He shouldn't trust the Seahawks because greater quarterbacks have been greater more recently and still been betrayed.
Talk to me.
Meaning, Carson Wentz leads his team very highly. They go to a Super Bowl with Nick Foles as a starter. Carson Wentz has an 11-win season. That's more recent success at a greater capacity than Russell Wilson. Carson Wentz, get up out of there. Jared Goff, we can at least dispute that one. He leads his team to the Super Bowl 2018. Yeah. More success than Russell Wilson has had in the last recent future. And Sean McVay is like Jared Goff. You got to get up out of here. We've seen greater quarterbacks have greater success more recently than Russell Wilson. Not overall greater quarterbacks, but they've just had greater success more recently than Russell Wilson and still be betrayed. But more than anything, Pete Carroll in a power position, Russ, and you pushed him to this point. Like, you got too cocky. You started feeling yourself too much. You pushed Pete Carroll to the point of like, you know what, big dog? I really don't need you because I won a Super Bowl with that Russell Wilson. I didn't win a Super Bowl with this Russell Wilson. So I don't need this Russell Wilson. I just need that Russell Wilson. And that Russell Wilson, 2013 and 2014 Russell Wilson, he's not that hard to find. Because that Russell Wilson had 26 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. This Russell Wilson might have 40 touchdowns, but it comes with a 40-touchdown ego, and I don't need all of that. But we got some breaking news. So we got to move on to the big news in Green Bay with the Packers, because reports say the 49ers reached out about trading for Aaron Rodgers, but we're told there is, quote, 0% chance the Packers will deal the reigning MVP. Now a new report from Adam Schefter says Rodgers is so disgruntled with the Packers that he's told some within the organization that he does not want to return to the team. So, Sel, what's your reaction to the breaking news?
Wow. Don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. Boy, Aaron Rodgers is like, hey, bro, Green Bay. Okay, we were just talking about how Russell Wilson and they can't work without you and all that. That's not the same in Green Bay right now, because they can't function without Aaron Rodgers in the immediate future. Jordan Love is not ready. They say Jordan Love is not even ready to lead the practice sessions, let alone come out there and try and go 13-3, NFC Championship game, as you said, 8 yards away from potentially being in the Super Bowl. Oh, they're far from that if they don't take care of Aaron Rodgers. And they haven't taken care of Aaron Rodgers. The hell is wrong with...
Talk that talk, Sel.
Green Bay doesn't have...
talk, Sel.
I can't even talk to somebody. I'm going to talk to you. This displaced aggression. I'm going to talk to you because I don't know the owner in Green Bay, because they don't have an owner. They got 47 members of a committee, publicly owned. Okay, well, all 47 of y'all listen to this. Y'all don't mess with the wrong dude. and thank you, NBA players, for finally letting these NFL players know we got hammers too. Sling it. And they are going to watch Aaron Rodgers finally say, I have the leverage. Look at me. I'm the captain now. Because they went and drafted. How ignorant is this? You're one step away from a Super Bowl appearance, potential win, and you go draft a bench-warming backup to me. Insult, shot, bullseye. The next year, I go out there in this position, you try to restructure and rework my contract, which is full of booby traps, to incentivize you guys to get rid of me even faster. Aaron Rodgers is like, are y'all kidding? You know what? I'm tired of you guys missing when you try to put me in your scope. Put your guns down. I'll just walk away. And that's what this sounds like to me. A guy who got too close to the edge and just wants to say, hey, white flag, call it what you want. I'm ready.
I love everything you said there. Aaron Rodgers, here's the thing, yo. If you push somebody far enough, they gon' go where you push them. And the Packers have been pushing and trying Aaron Rodgers. I've said it before, I will say it again. The Packers have wasted Aaron Rodgers' career.
Oh, let me talk.
Why do I say that? Aaron Rodgers has three NFL MVPs, but he has one Super Bowl. When did Aaron Rodgers get that one Super Bowl? When he had a top 5 defense. He's only been given a top 5 defense one time. Tom Brady was given a top 5 defense 8 times, and he had 6 Super Bowl appearances. Imagine if Aaron Rodgers was given that same caliber of defense over the year. Y'all gave him a top 5 defense one time, and in turn, he gave you a Super Bowl. Give Tom Brady a top 5 defense 8 times, and he takes you to 6 Super Bowls. Packers wasting Rodgers' career. What else? Only drafted one skill position since Aaron Rodgers took over as quarterback since he fell to them. And that skill position player was the player that's supposed to replace Aaron Rodgers. The Packers done played with Aaron Rodgers enough. They've pushed Aaron Rodgers enough. And now he's looking at them like, it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Bang, bang.
And Aaron Rodgers got the gun right now. And I'm glad that he's at least letting the Packers know who's really in charge, because it is Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Well, they were 9th in defense last year.
9th, they top 5.
Okay, top 5. You didn't say top 10. Damn. They do have a top 5 wide receiver and a top 5 running back.
They do.
One of only 2 teams to do that. Okay.
That.
See, you know me, I got to flip the coin. Hey, wait a minute now. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, some of this is on you. That much. Like, itty bitty that much. Why didn't you run on that one play? Like, whatever. I know why you didn't run. You want to get your head taken off. Here's the thing. This is a situation that the ego is involved in the negotiation. And I'm not just talking about the negotiation in terms of contract this offseason. I'm talking about in the negotiation of team building, team construction. Like Aaron Rodgers literally watched them make not a lateral move in the draft last year in the first round, giving up assets to go get Jordan Love, but a backwards move. So even in a backwards attempt to undermine this team and Aaron Rodgers, he still got them to the same place, which lets you know Aaron Rodgers and his level of greatness. What do you do now if you're Aaron Rodgers? Because we're not pulling in the same direction. What leads you to breakup, if you ever get into a real relationship, you'll understand what a breakup is. It's really the most defeating thing is when you're not pulling in the same direction. True. Hey, you want to go over here? I'll go with you. Like my wife one day, she told me, she said, baby, I love you so much that I want to tell you the truth. No more old school rap concerts. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, baby, I wasn't even born when these rappers were hot. And now I'm going to these concerts and I'm just moving my head because I love you. And I love that because even though she didn't want to ride, she still was pulling in the same direction. The problem is when you got one oar going this way, one oar going that way, where are we going? That's too much on Aaron Rodgers.
And the thing is, the Packers have let their being of good now become their enemy of greatness. Good can be the enemy of great. The Packers have been consistently good, and as a result, they have not been great. And Aaron Rodgers is like, y'all not about to waste my whole career because y'all wasted some of it. Packers have had a Hall of Fame quarterback for nearly 30 years. Y'all got 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowls to show for it. Like you had Brett Favre and you had Aaron Rodgers, and all you have to show for it is 3 Super Bowl appearances and 2 Super Bowls. That got to make sense, and it doesn't make sense to Aaron Rodgers. Furthermore,
let's go.
In Aaron Rodgers' playoff losses, Packers defense gives up 35 points a game. Tom Brady just won a Super Bowl at the age of 43. But how did Tom Brady win that Super Bowl? He didn't just win it because he was Tom Brady. His defense went crazy. First 3 games of the playoffs for Brady, 55% completion percentage, 54% completion percentage, 55% completion percentage. Aaron Rodgers showed out against the Buccaneers. Tom Brady showed interceptions against the Packers. But Aaron Rodgers didn't win, and the Buccaneers did. So now we all sing Tom Brady's praises, which we should. But Aaron Rodgers is sitting there like, I was the better quarterback on the field. And how come I didn't win the game? 1, because of my defense, and 2, I'm sitting on the bench because Aaron Rodgers is sitting on the bench when he's watching the Buccaneers offense, and he looks out there on offense and he sees Antonio Brown, and he sees Rob Gronkowski, and oh my God, is that Mike Evans? And is that Chris Godwin? And is that Leonard Fournette behind Tom Brady? And when it's not Leonard Fournette, is that Ronald Jones? And then Aaron Rodgers jogs on the field and he's like, okay, I got Devontae Adams, Devontae a beast. I got Aaron Jones a beast. I got Alan Lazard. He's good in flashes. I got MVS, Valdez-Scantling, and he eyed at times. But you look over there and you see Gronk, AB, Godwin, Mike Evans, Leonard Fournette, Ronald Jones. No wonder the Bucs won a Super Bowl, because they helped their quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is like, help me. Somebody help me. And he hasn't gotten his help. You can only take so much negligence for so long. And the Packers have truly been negligent as it pertains to Aaron Rodgers' career when you consider how great Aaron Rodgers is.
Yeah, I mean, look, I forgot another layer. I'm not Aaron Rodgers, so it's so funny when things are coming down and caving on you. You know all of them. And other people, we have selective perception, or, hey, we got our own lives to live. We don't know everything that is landing on your lap. But we talked about Jordan Love and why y'all draft him. We talk about the reworking of the contract. Oh, booby traps everywhere. What about when he first got with Matt LaFleur? Now, it's been a promising relationship, really fast start, obviously, in terms of wins, 26-6 in the regular season, 2-2 in the playoffs. But you remember day one when all of the narratives were Aaron Rodgers pretty much done? I bought into that one in terms of his individual production. And you need to give the keys. Aaron Rodgers at the time, a two-time MVP, got to give the keys to Matt LaFleur in terms of play calling, in terms of team control. And Aaron Rodgers, just because he had a slight dip, I thought it was regression to the fullest. A lot of people did. Aaron Rodgers was like, I have to give it to Matt LaFleur. Like, that level of deference in this moment when I'm Aaron Rodgers. Oh, y'all some snipers up top. Oh, y'all some disrespectful. I can't say the rest. Okay. And then y'all continue to let the dominoes fall with the Jordan Love and now the rework contract after an MVP. So Aaron Rodgers just has to feel this. And this is interesting. When you're in a situation and you don't feel respected. Now, I don't go all the way to, it's time to blow up the spot if you don't feel respected. Because first step, I'm going to say, you're going to respect me. I'm going to make you respect me. Aaron Rodgers already did that. I won MVP. Y'all, you still don't?
You're preaching.
Okay, now, ain't no changing your mind if you already think that you're right. And that's the worst part of any relationship or any situation of engagement. When the other person is so stubborn to admit that they were wrong. Sounds like upstairs, they don't want to admit they were wrong.
Well, here's the other issue at hand is when somebody stops singing your praises, who's responsible for singing your praises, you got to start praising yourself.
Say it.
And that's what happened with Aaron Rodgers this year. Packers responsible for singing Aaron Rodgers' praises. He their quarterback. But what did they do? They drafted Jordan Love. So what does Aaron Rodgers do this year? My worst seasons are your quarterback's best seasons.
Yeah, I remember
Aaron
that.
Rodgers don't usually talk like that. He don't say that at all. But all of a sudden, Aaron Rodgers is like, wait a second. Y'all aren't singing my praises, Packers, so I'm going to sing them. And I'm going to let y'all know that my worst seasons, 25 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That's your quarterback's best seasons. My worst seasons, 26 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. That's your quarterback's best seasons. The Packers should have known if you stop singing Aaron Rodgers' praises, he go sing them himself. And he gonna sound in tune when he do. Coming up, Jimmy Garoppolo is on the 49ers roster right now, but we'll tell you if he should still be after the draft. That's next. Speak for yourself.
In a monumental main event, the leader of the Yes Movement, Daniel Bryan, challenges the head of the table, Roman Reigns, for the Universal Championship. It's an all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, tomorrow night on Fox.
Kyle Shanahan said earlier this week, he, quote, can't guarantee that anybody in the world will be alive on Sunday. Interesting. When he was asked if Jimmy Garoppolo will be on the roster after the draft. Now, according to a report, multiple teams are expected to call the 49ers today about Jimmy G, but the chances of a trade are remote. So, Acho, should Jimmy G still be in the 49ers' plans after this weekend, if he's alive?
Well, if we can assume that he, along with all of us, hopefully are alive. No, he shouldn't be in their plans because as it stands right now, we all know this, Jimmy G is trade bait. The 49ers allegedly tried to inquire about Aaron Rodgers. They traded up to try to get Mac Jones or Justin Fields or Trey Lance. So we know Jimmy G is trade bait, but trade bait is only valuable if it's present. Trade bait can't be valuable if the trade bait is injured or not present. So if Jimmy G is trade bait, and we know that Jimmy G can only be traded if he is healthy, then why would you risk him getting injured over the course of the season, over the course of OTAs, over the course of preseason, whatever the regular season looks like and however it unfolds? Why would you risk that? Jimmy G gets hurt 44% of the time. You like to flip coins, you've done it all show. If you were to flip a coin, there's a 50% chance roughly, or at least 45, 55, 44, 56, that Jimmy G gets hurt. Which means that out of every 2 games you play for the 49ers, out of every 2 games the 49ers play, one of them he's likely to get hurt. So you can play 2 games this season with Jimmy G, but if he gets hurt in that second game, you can't trade him. So if your objective is to trade Jimmy G anyway, which we all know the 49ers' objective is to trade the man Jimmy G, then you might as well trade him while he has value, because he has no value if he is injured. Trade him right now. He's healthy. Everybody knows at least he will be healthy. He's only 29 years of age, turns 30 in November. You can get something for him. Don't try to hold on to him just to be a $25 million mentor and run the risk of him getting hurt.
Okay, I'm just going to go off script with this one right here. You ever seen Set It Off?
I have. That one I have.
You all happy.
I have.
Okay, you remember how Latifah went out? She just hit that cigarette one last time. She's like, this is my last shot for Jimmy G before the
Remember how
draft.
she went out, though?
She died.
That's how you
I'm about to die, too. I know. I ain't Kyle Shanahan. He gonna kill me. He gonna trade Jimmy G to his own demise, but he gonna do it. This is my last blast, and I just feel like it. I don't want to do it, but this is my last-ditch effort to save Jimmy G. There's a paved road to success, and Jimmy G paved that road. He said, hey, Cal, if you want to ride on this road, it's going to lead you to the Super Bowl, because the only time I'm healthy is the only time you made it to the Super Bowl. Every other season, no playoff wins. Every other season, losing record. And then every other season, worse at bottom 10 in terms of points per game. But you don't like the paved road. You look like a guy who works out once or twice or 3 times every day. You look like a guy who goes to Runyon Canyon and acts like he's working out, but he really looking through his sunglasses and say, hey, girl, I know how you are. And when I go to Runyon Canyon, I see those bored hikers as well, like you, Acho. They don't like the paved road. They be up in the bushes where the snakes are, the thorn bushes. They like to go draft the unknowns and see if they can stay and be durable. I'm going to ask you about best quarterbacks in the league today. Tom Brady. You ever miss time?
Yes, sir. 1 season.
Yeah.
Out of 20.
Excuse me. Injury, huh? Deshaun Watson, ever miss time?
Yes,
Dak Prescott, anytime. Patrick Mahomes, ever miss some time?
4 games.
I mean, God dang, everybody getting hurt in the NFL. And now we gonna just hang them. Take him to the middle of the town hall. Jimmy G has to go when everybody else that's doing something worth a damn gets injured as well. It's just a weak scapegoat excuse. That was my last Latifah shot. If that doesn't work, then let's just set it off. Coming up, we have much more on the breaking news that Aaron Rodgers wants out of Green Bay. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Sorry, Jimmy. Let's get back to the breaking news in Green Bay. Our own Jay Glazer reports Aaron Rodgers told the Packers he does not want to return to the team, and it's more than a contract issue. You hear that, Acho? That came after multiple reports that other teams, including the 49ers, have reached out to the Packers about a trade for Rodgers. Got to bring in Fox NFL analyst Bucky Brooks. So, Bucky, what's your reaction to the breaking news?
Hey, man, it's about the money. It ain't about any of that other stuff. This is about the money. Quarterbacks are selfish, and they want the bread. When they saw Pat Mahomes and then Dak Prescott get the cheese on the burger, Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson wanted a bite of it. That's what this is. It ain't about all that other stuff. Let's just call a spade a spade. Aaron Rodgers is averaging $33 million a year. When you see these other guys making $40 million plus a year, I want to go back to the table. What has been reported, they were in the middle of negotiating the contract. They didn't get to the term. So this is Aaron Rodgers letting people know, I'm mad because I haven't got my bread. He's 37 years of age. He can talk about retiring or not coming back. He doesn't have the juice or the leverage. He has 3 years remaining on his deal, and the Packers have all the control. He's 37 years of age. At this point, if he sits out, man, what are the odds of someone getting better at 38, 39 without playing? He wants the money. He's trying to draw attention to his cause and put pressure on the Packers to make them cave into his demands, because public sentiment is always going to favor Aaron Rodgers in this scenario. That's why we have these reports on the eve of the draft, is to paint the Packers into a corner so they pay him his bread and he can be satisfied.
I don't agree at all. Bucky, I don't think it's about the money, Bucky Brooks. Let me tell you what it's about, Buck. Let me tell you what it's about. Aaron Rodgers had 57 combined touchdowns last season, third most in NFL history. And what do he have to show for it? He ain't even get to the Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, Bucky Brooks, 3 NFL MVPs, and what do you got to show for it? 1 Super Bowl win. Aaron Rodgers has a 4-game losing streak in conference championship games. His defense allowing more than 30 points per game in those games. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is concerned about this bread, Bucky. Dude just went to host Jeopardy. A Jeopardy job will pay you a couple $1 million. So he's set for life after football.
Way more dollar TV than a couple of digits of
Real
millions.
talk. So, Bucky, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is doing this for $7 million. Like, I don't know. It's just me. But I'm not convinced that Aaron Rodgers, because the discrepancy between 33 and what he would want to be paid as much or higher than Dak Prescott is $7 million, 33 to 47 mil. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is doing this for $7 million because at this point in Aaron Rodgers' career, another Super Bowl is worth more than $7 million. My humble opinion. I just stumbled into a little bit of money as of late, but if you're telling me I'm Aaron Rodgers about to be 38 years old, give me another Super Bowl before you give me $7 million. Aaron Rodgers can do a couple commercials and make $7 million. So it's not about the money, Bucky. It's about respect. The Packers don't respect Aaron Rodgers. They've never shown him they respect him. They haven't given him no help. They done looked at other quarterbacks. They drafted another first-round quarterback. They didn't give him a defense. He lost to an older quarterback because the older quarterback had the defense. They don't listen to him on play calling. They don't listen to him on coaching. It is about respect, Bucky Brooks.
Damn, I love Bucky Brooks. Came in here with that wild card. I don't play a lot of card games. I don't have the attention span, but I do know that deuces are wild, like in spades or something. And catch me arguing like, no, it's a 2, no, it's wild. Like, Bucky, whatever you just played, that was a wild card. I didn't think about it like that. If it ain't about the money, ain't no use bring my line, wasting my time. Woo! I think Aaron Rodgers is like, yo, it's about the money. But it doesn't make sense, too. I'm with Acho on this one as well. Why not line up and go gangster when you can talk about the new TV deal really kicking in terms of the CBA and the cap going up? Right now, it's suppressed. Why would you want your money right now when you know there's going to be so much money in the near future? Aaron Rodgers is not scared because he's 37. He just won an MVP. He knows he still has greatness in terms of runway going forward, in terms of his projections. Man, rap. I'm going to take y'all to the rap game. I just started off with my little song, T.I. song. This money respect argument is the record deal rapper versus the backpack rapper, right? The record deal rapper is like, I'm commercial, dog. I'm trying to get the money, sell these CDs, whatever. And the backpack rapper just like, nah, I don't care, man. I just want the real fans to like buy me and respect my music. Yeah, all right, dog. All right, so I know that I'm going to defer to you, Bucky, in terms of all things. If you want to follow where they go, they lead you right to the money conversation. But it just is bad timing. Right before the draft, you try to have a money conversation when you can have a money conversation at any time. When it's about respect, when it's about you maybe not returning, when it's about you flexing, when it's about you maybe wearing a different uniform, you flex on draft day. So that's why I'm kind of torn between you two. Help me settle the score, Buck.
Oh, I'm going to settle this for you real quick, right? Aaron Rodgers is the insecure partner in the relationship, right? Aaron Rodgers wants constant reassurances to know that he is still the one. He's still the apple of your eye. He's still the one that you want to come home to. And so Aaron Rodgers' deal, potentially they could get out of it after the 2021 season. And it would only cost them $17 million in dead cap space, which is why the Packers drafted Jordan Love. Because prior to this MVP season, all the numbers that Aaron Rodgers had put up were on the decline. Completion percentage, passer rating, all of those things. So the Packers last year were protecting themselves in case Aaron Rodgers didn't play at a high level. So now, look, he rebooted his career. He played at an MVP level. So he wants to flip the tables and let them know, I got the juice now. I have the card. Here's what I want from you to make me feel good about this relationship. I want you to put a little extra cheese on it. Give me a little money so I can have some long-term security so that I know that I'm here. Because I know you brought this new quarterback in, Jordan Love. I need to make sure that he is not going to take away from my time. He's not going to take away from my shine because this is, quote-unquote, my team. And Acho, you talked about Super Bowls being important. But here's what strikes me about Tom Brady compared to Aaron Rodgers. Tom Brady doesn't go out there talking about that cheese. Tom Brady's making $25, $26 million. You know why? Because he knows if he doesn't get top of the market money, he also can get that defense that you want, those playmakers that you want, all of that support that he needs, he can get that because he's not getting all of it. So Aaron Rodgers is at a crossroads and he has to make a determination. Do I want to get all of the money and deal with not winning the Super Bowls, or do I want to sit back and understand where I am, take less, and then let them build up the team around me? Right now, he hasn't given them that leverage and that freedom and flexibility, which is why he's sitting on one, and that is one Super Bowl, not one love like Houdini.
Hey.
Rest in peace, too.
Watch your mouth, Bucky Brooks.
Wow.
Look, this Aaron Rodgers monetary conversation has nothing to do with the fact that the Packers ain't drafted but one skilled player since Aaron Rodgers became the quarterback. You can talk to me about free agent acquisitions, Bucky Brooks. I'll listen to you right there. But last year was a talent-laden wide receiver draft. And what the Packers do? They drafted a quarterback, the only skilled player that the Packers have drafted since Aaron Rodgers took over. So, Bucky, that sounds good, but that ain't good. Like, what you giving me is sound right. But here's the other thing, Bucky. Don't talk to me about Aaron Rodgers' insecurities when the Packers have made Aaron Rodgers insecure. You feel me, Bucky?
Hey.
Like,
wait a minute. Don't let somebody make you insecure.
Let me show you
it's
how.
Self-esteem, not they esteem.
Let me show you how. If you in a relationship with somebody, big dog, and I've been in this situation before.
Oh, you got insecure?
I've been in a relationship, and I was asked to go on a relationship show. But here's the thing. I've been in a relationship. So I was in a relationship. They asked me to go on a love show. I'm thinking to myself, okay, wait a second. My name really ain't all that big. Let me go on this love show. Let me talk it over with my girl and just be like, hey, it's not going to mean nothing. You feel me? It's not going to mean nothing. But what happens, Bucky Brooks, if I go along that love show and at the end of the day, I got to choose another partner? My significant other going to be looking like, wait, I thought you was just fronting. I thought this didn't mean anything. That's what the Packers did, Bucky. Hey, Aaron Rodgers, we just going to scout some of these quarterbacks. So it don't mean nothing. No, we just going to check them out. I am a little bit. Ooh, you see that one? Ooh,
look at that love.
But then they ended up getting and falling in love with Jordan Love. Bucky, it's not Aaron Rodgers' fault he's insecure. It's the Packers' fault he's insecure because they made him insecure out here showing love and affection to Jordan Love.
Get him, Buck.
See, now, I'm surprised as the bachelor, the all things bachelor that you are. I would think that you would know. Just because you take him to the fantasy suite, it don't mean that you're giving them the role. They just took Jordan Love to the fantasy suite. It didn't mean that they were giving him the role. He's not the one that's going to get it at the end of the day. They still want to go with Aaron Rodgers. Look, man, they were just test driving the car with Jordan Love. Yes. It doesn't mean that it's a done deal. And so for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, this has been a long time coming. And it's funny because it's come full circle because when Aaron Rodgers entered the league, he entered the league in the midst of a soap opera, a drama between Brett Favre and the Green Bay Packers. He had to sit and patiently wait and bide his time. And now Jordan Love is sitting here saying, hey, man, this is like another scene from Young and the Restless. I got Aaron Rodgers every other month having some kind of issue. And I know the Packers are saying, look, let this calm down. Let's settle in. We're not going to trade our star quarterback away. He doesn't really have any options. Let's figure out how we can do this. So all of this is external pressure to try and put the Packers in a corner to make them trade away or sweeten the pot when it comes to the deal. I think the Packers should hold firm and be like, nah, we're good. Aaron Rodgers is going to have to show up or he's going to have to go host Jeopardy.
Dang. Hey, damn, I love me some Bucky Brooks. Acho, you need to put some respect on two things. One, stop disrespecting all these dating shows. I went on Millionaire Matchmaker.
They asked me to go, bro.
You weren't a millionaire.
I know.
You couldn't go. They thought I was.
Before taxes, I was a pre-tax millionaire. After taxes, I was a $100,000 not nearly as glamorous.
We need net millionaires, not gross. And two, put some respect on Bucky Brooks right there. That ain't the old wired headphones, Bucky Brooks. This is the suited and booted AirPods, Bucky Brooks. Bringing them hot takes. Damn, I love how you framed this because it really is a situation where Green Bay got to that point of no return. And we've all been there before where you tell your boys, hey, yeah, man, it's over. Soon as she come home, yeah, we're going to talk through it. And then your boy like, all right, then tomorrow you talk to your boy, he's like, yeah, she came home, we talked through it, we still going through it. And you're like, hey, bro, you got to pull the trigger sooner or later. You told me you were going through it. And it becomes a process. But in that process, you already made your mind up. No matter what they do, you out, even though you still in that relationship. Sounds like Green Bay said when they saw the numbers, as Bucky brought up, in decline, we out on the Aaron Rodgers program. And then Aaron Rodgers hit him with an MVP. Who hasn't been in a relationship when you're like, we about to be broken up? It's a wrap. And then all of a sudden, everything starts getting better. And you're like, nah, I'm not believing this. You ain't getting me on this yo-yo once again. And I think that's where they are. But Green Bay, come on with the ego. Come on with the pride. You got to ride with Aaron Rodgers right now. You got an MVP in tow who is yours, drafted by you, your own. Sounds like, though, they ready to go. Peace. Coming up, we have much more on this Aaron Rodgers breaking news story. Will the future Hall of Famer actually get traded out of Green Bay? That's a conversation coming up next. Speak for yourself. Or later. Lamar Jackson's Ravens finished last in passing this past season, but help could be on the way. The Falcons GM said he holds Julio Jones in high regard, but added that they'll answer calls on any player. Ooh. Well, according to our own Jay Glazer, the Ravens asked about Jones, but his contract makes a trade appear to be unlikely. Bucky is back, but Acho, how good would Julio Jones make Lamar's Ravens?
He would bump the Ravens into that necessary category where the Chiefs and the Bills are. I think the Chiefs and the Bills are 1A. But then the Ravens are 2, and then you go to, say, the Titans at 3, the Browns at 4, the Steelers at 5, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The Ravens are still behind, and clearly behind, the Chiefs, and are still behind, not as clear, a little fuzzy, but still behind the Bills. Nonetheless, we know they're behind them. And the Ravens can't even have a chance at beating the Chiefs right now. Lamar Jackson is 30-4 versus everybody. He dominates the NFL. He's 0-3 versus the Chiefs. Lamar Jackson tried to do what he could against the Bills. They lost by 14 points, and it was a 14-point swing, that pick six that Lamar Jackson threw, one end zone to the other. So Julio Jones wouldn't make the Ravens the team to beat, but Julio Jones would give the Ravens the ability to beat the team to beat. And that's where the Ravens have to realize is he's not going to make y'all the team to beat. Let's not get it twisted. The Chiefs still bad boys in the AFC. But at least Julio Jones would give y'all the ability to beat the team that is to be beaten.
Oh, no, I disagree. I think he pushes them over the top because I think if you look at what the Buffalo Bills were able to do with Josh Allen when Stephon Diggs came in, he pushed Josh Allen to a level that would be on the fringe of being an MVP. Well, Lamar Jackson has already been an MVP. You get him an elite level veteran wide receiver, Lamar Jackson goes from great to extraordinary when we think about what he could do on the perimeter. Because what Julio Jones does, just by being on the field, he puts the defense in a bind. Hey, if you want to deal with the running game, you're going to leave Julio Jones one-on-one. He's going to wear you out, make it very easy for Lamar Jackson to throw passes. You want to double team Julio Jones? Now the running game continues to gut you over and over and over again. Mark Andrews in the passing game gets one-on-one. Hollywood Brown gets one-on-one on the outside. This takes this offense to another level. And we can complain about the passing game and the rudimentary elements of how they go about doing it. But when you have one dude on the outside who's better than whoever you can put on defense opposite him, it changes the game. So now this pushes the Baltimore Ravens right there with the Chiefs. And because they can run the football whenever they want to run it, yeah, I'll take the Baltimore Ravens in that scenario.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. This would take them right where they need to be. Wherever you think Kansas City is, wherever you think Buffalo's going to take a step to, that top tier, and it's not 1A, 1B, 2, and all that. Forget all them letters and numbers. They're going to be at the top where they belong because Julio is a monster. Lamar is a monster who can throw. Combine those, you got a monstrous team right here. Lamar Jackson went out there and led the NFL in passing touchdowns, and Mark Andrews was his greatest target. Now, I like Mark Andrews, but he's a tight end. Like, Lamar Jackson is faster than him, and you can see this in this offense, how they need that deep threat that people actually respect. Hollywood Brown, okay, you coming. Well, hurry up and come. Because Julio Jones is there. And that's when you, as a defender, look around and say, oh, my God, this is something to deal with, as Bucky pointed out. But more than that, let's talk about the psyche of Lamar Jackson. Because we've all been in a situation where you go into class and some of your friends are studying, some of them are not. But you're the smartest in the class. Then all of a sudden, you got to do this group project with somebody else as smart as you. First thing you think about is like, oh, damn, I got to be right. That's how Acho felt when he got on this show. He's like, damn, got to work with Wiley every day. Got to get right because this boy going to come with it. So the point is, we all been there before. I know, Acho, it's really the flip. But the point is, we've all been there before. No matter how good you are, how great you are, how great it's been. When you get with someone else who is on that level in terms of individual talent and accomplishment, it makes you and the collective step up.
Yeah, no, I think this does make it step up, and I think it really is sensible for the Baltimore Ravens to kick the tires on this deal. And if they can make it happen, they need to make it happen. The one thing that we've talked about, more weapons are needed for the Baltimore Ravens passing game to go to the next level. We've always talked about, they have to go in the draft, get a young guy, someone dynamic. No. What they need is a veteran, because with the veteran receiver, particularly a high-end receiver like Julio Jones, trust and chemistry are already established with the quarterback. Lamar Jackson knows I can trust that in 50-50 ball situations, I can go to Julio Jones. Whenever we need a first down, I can go to Julio Jones. I know that the defense is going to shift to Julio Jones. So now guess who else is hitting him on the other side? Mark Andrews. Now we can do different things without radically overhauling the offense because we have better pieces. No disrespect to the young receivers that they're trying to pump up and tout, but Julio Jones is head and shoulders above whatever they have in the stable. You bring Julio Jones to Baltimore, man, you change the dynamic and you make a team that is already scared because you don't really want to deal with that running game.
No.
Man, you give defensive coordinators around the league sleepless nights because I don't know how you defend a team that runs it like they run it with Julio Jones on the outside.
Yeah, man. Hook him up. Hook Baltimore up. Where's Lamar Jackson's relief? All these stimulus checks out here and $1 trillion going all around the league and all around the country. Lamar Jackson needs some of his relief, too. Give him a stimulus check. It's called Julio Jones. Speaking of wide receivers, Terry Bradshaw and Fox Super 6 are giving away $5,000 for each day of the NFL draft. One of today's contest questions is, who will draft wide receiver Devontae Smith? The Giants, Lions, Eagles, Dolphins, Patriots, or another team, Acho? So who are you picking?
For my sake, for the Eagles' sake, I pray he falls to the Philadelphia Eagles because they desperately need Devontae Smith. I'm going with the Eagles.
Bucky?
Hey, Acho, I'm going to give Acho a bone today. Acho, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles because they desperately need it. I need to see Jalen Hurts shine, so let's give him a playmaker that can help him.
I am going to go with the Miami Dolphins. I want them to go that high. Nice, but Jamar Chase is in the building, so we already know how that's going to play out. We'll see how they juggle that. Download the Fox Super 6 app and play for free for your shot to win. And make sure you tune in to NFL Network for round 1 tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, to follow along live. Coming up, we have much more on the Aaron Rodgers breaking news. Will the future Hall of Famer actually get traded out of Green Bay? Coming up on Speak For Yourself. Let's get back to the breaking news in Green Bay. Our own Jay Glazer reports Aaron Rodgers told the Packers he does not want to return to the team, and it's more than a contract issue. Now, Pro Football Talk reports Rodgers' preferred trade destinations are the Raiders, Broncos, 49ers. Bucky is back, but Acho, think the Packers would actually trade Rodgers?
Absolutely. And in all honesty, I think that they should. And the reason I think they should is y'all drafted a first-round pick at quarterback just last year. So if you don't play this first-round pick whom you drafted at quarterback just last year, y'all look really stupid. So Aaron Rodgers is giving you all an opportunity to look intelligent unintentionally. Y'all kept Aaron Rodgers for a year. He wins an MVP. Y'all go to a conference championship game. So it kind of looks like, yeah, it was in our plans all along. Then Aaron Rodgers can move on with a trade. Y'all get something for him. Y'all will actually, in turn, get more than y'all used to get Jordan Love because it's more than likely that y'all would probably get several first-round picks. So now you drafted Jordan Love, and you can finally use him and let him not be wasted. Trading Aaron Rodgers lets the Packers' idiotic decision stumble into actually looking somewhat intelligent if Jordan Love happens to pan out. Otherwise, you continue to play with Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers playing with y'all too at this point, it at least appears. So does it make sense for the Packers to trade Aaron Rodgers to me, not to be confused with Jordan Rodgers, his brother. Does it make sense to trade Aaron Rodgers to me? It absolutely does.
No, this doesn't make any sense. Aaron Rodgers, you got to play in Green Bay. You're not playing. That's what we're doing. Like the dead cap is $30 million.
Yeah.
$14 million after June 1st, whatever. No, you're gonna sit and play. You signed a big contract years ago, and at the time it put you at the top of the market. Now you're unhappy because you have maybe outplayed the contract or the market dynamics have changed. Hey, too bad. Like this is what it is. The deal is signed. We have all of the control, and we're not trading him until we're ready. Because remember, what the Packers want to do is recreate what they were able to do with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. It took Aaron Rodgers 3 years before he got on the field. The Packers saw how that worked out. they're not in a rush to get Jordan Love on the field. We on the outside can say, oh, we got to get Jordan Love on the field. There's no rush. There's no pressure to do that. As long as Aaron Rodgers plays at a high level, they can keep Jordan Love on the field, developing on the practice field. So when he is ready to take the baton, he shows up and he performs, much like Aaron Rodgers, they performed when Brett Favre left. So no, he's not going anywhere. He can kick and scream and moan and pout and do all that other stuff that he's doing. But right now, Aaron Rodgers is a Packer, and I expect him to continue to be a Packer.
Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers stuck. Man, I was in the lab the other day, and I was thinking about people who complain and whine. And, even if they have merit, I was like, man, all that complaining can gain you leverage, but not power. And it's interesting to know the difference between money and power and leverage and power. Because the leverage could say, oh, it feels like I'm gaining some of this power. Like, I got you. But ultimately, we all know if you got an employer, you're an employee. And it's a problem right here. Hey, every check that I've seen in the NFL when I played those 10 years had 2 names on it. Marcellus Wiley, I love that name. But I was like, who this other dude? Oh, that's the dude who writes these checks. And he writes them all. So in this situation, the Green Bay Packers still got to write the checks. And I get where Aaron Rodgers is coming from. Y'all wanted to replace me, Aaron Rodgers? I'm not no scrub. Oh, okay, so here's your convenient, clean break out, as Acho was talking about. But the Packers organization, nah, this is a little premature. Oh, we didn't tell you this, but this is how we're thinking. We want to break up with you on our terms and our timetable. That's how it works when you have the power. So not the leverage, which is like a piece of that power. Like you can have a large extent of that power, but you don't have the absolute power in this situation. You think that right now, as a $38 million dead cap, before June 1st and $22 million after June 1st, which is actually reasonable, feasible, but still, who wants to eat $22 million when I got an MVP that's going to be unhappy but still going to ball? I mean, look, you could go out there. This happened to me this morning. My son, bottom lip on the floor about 5 times this morning, just didn't like what I was saying. He did it, though. He still had to do it because he knew in this situation, you got to do what's best for you no matter how it feels. Aaron Rodgers, what's best for you is to keep balling. Unfortunately, it's going to still be in that Green Bay uniform.
But here's the thing, fellas. Leverage is determined by options. And as weird as 2021 has been, I don't know that it would be so far-fetched if Aaron Rodgers is like, oh, I'm going to just go host this show then. Because if they're going to pay me 15, 17, whatever the case, millions of dollars, and I'm just going to take what is a $17 pay cut, obviously a large chunk of money, but let's not act like Aaron Rodgers can't make this up either in investments and advertising and other ways, at least some of it up. Let's not act, Bucky Brooks, like Aaron Rodgers isn't so far-fetched from the thought of, y'all not finna do this to me. I'm going to just go host Jeopardy if y'all don't want to trade me. And now what? Now what? Now y'all still playing with Jordan Love. Y'all get nothing in return from me, and I'm really not losing.
But they still got his contract.
Sure, but
so what are you going to do? Come back from Jeopardy and still be a Green Bay Packer?
No, what it comes down to is now it forces their hand. It forces their hand because it's like, I'm still doing something and still making good money, and I'm still in the public eye. Y'all are playing with Jordan Love. Y'all not winning. Y'all can just trade me, or y'all can not trade me. I'll host this show. Y'all can play with Jordan Love. Now y'all sitting on my contract, and y'all are wasting what could be 3 first-round picks, because that's probably what Aaron Rodgers would command. 2 first-round picks and a swap of a first-round pick. So let's not act like Aaron Rodgers was in the Deshaun Watson situation, where at least to our knowledge, we didn't know that Deshaun Watson could go to another job and make $15, $17, $20 million. Aaron Rodgers, he's smart. I think he Columbia smart like you.
Nah, he Cal Berkeley smart, but that's still smart as hell.
He's still, I was wondering, Aaron Rodgers, why would you even go host Jeopardy just cuz for 2 weeks? Maybe Aaron Rodgers had been playing chess this whole time, and maybe he understands that is a leverage component. It is far-fetched. It is a wild thought. But if you have an option, then you have leverage.
Oh, you're over here talking about chess, and then I'm thinking checkers, but really this is Connect 4. It has nothing to do with all of that. He's not doing anything. He's over here just talking to be talking. He doesn't have anything. Hey, Acho, if he wants to go host Jeopardy, he can go, because you know what continues to go on? That clock. And when you turn 37, then you're 38, and then you're 39. The stands are slowly going through the hourglass. And he knows time is short on him. Time is not on his side. This is different than Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is in his prime, a young dude in his prime trying to force his hand. Aaron Rodgers can't play hardball like that. He can't sit out for a year or two and think that he's going to be the same guy. It may get uncomfortable for Brian Gutekunst and the Packers, but the best thing that they can do is say, okay, you go host your show, but let's see how long the football player you is okay answering questions and pulling off names and doing all that while we're continuing to play, because at some point he is going to come back, and he's going to come back for the Packers.
Yeah, Acho, it sounded great. It was poetic, but let me just nix this in the butt. Jeopardy will not allow their brand, their show, to be a part of a tug-of-war of negotiations between Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. Let's just say that, because you're going to sign a lifetime contract if you're going to go to Jeopardy right now. Like, you doing this, and you are doing this. I don't care if Jordan Love loses all his games, you going back. Nah, B. We're not going to be a part of that if we're Jeopardy. That's part one. Two, if you're Aaron Rodgers, like, it's not – he has some leverage because other suitors are calling the Green Bay Packers. He just has no power. It is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson, before what we talk about now with Deshaun Watson, which we ain't talking about yet, but we're going to get to it. Deshaun Watson was like, I just want to be out. And they were like, we want you to be in. And what happened with Deshaun Watson? He's still there, Houston, Texas. Say what you want. Russell Wilson, I want to be out. Here's my trade list. They're like, I hope you wrote that in pencil, because we're going to erase that list and you're going to be a Seattle Seahawk. It sounds like no matter how great Aaron Rodgers is and how much leverage he has, he doesn't have the power necessary to pull this off. Unfortunately, if Aaron Rodgers is going to throw another touchdown, it's going to be in that Packer green once again. Coming up is a Jimmy G to the Patriots reunion in the works. We'll tell you if that would make sense. Next, don't speak for yourself. But if Jeopardy, you're looking for somebody, Acho got a partner on this show. Oh, we have more on Aaron Rodgers. Pro Football Talk reports his preferred trade destinations are the Raiders, Broncos, and 49ers. According to another report, the Niners offered the 3rd overall pick and more for the reigning MVP, and Rodgers wanted the Packers to take the deal. This follows the report from our own Jay Glazer that the reigning MVP does not want to return to the team. So, Acho, what? Which team should go all in on Aaron Rodgers?
Be real, any team that can. Remember, Jimmy Johnson came on here and said that if the Cowboys could get Aaron Rodgers over Dak Prescott, get Aaron Rodgers. And I think it was you was like, but Jimmy, over Dak? He was like, yeah, there's a big difference.
Right.
Any team that can go all in on Aaron Rodgers, outside of obviously the Buccaneers, the Chiefs, about 4 teams go all in. Of the list that Aaron Rodgers gave, the 49ers. 49ers got to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G. 49ers got to a Super Bowl and lost the Super Bowl in part because of their defense, you could say, collapsed at the end. But they were going against one of the most talented quarterbacks of all time. So I'm not going to fault the defense. I'm going to fault Jimmy G, the man who missed 2 pivotal throws late in the end of the game, which we know Aaron Rodgers, at least we ain't seen him miss no pivotal throws. We've seen him throw receivers open.
Pivotal runs.
Yeah, we've seen him not take no pivotal runs. I don't like the Broncos, although we know that they desperately need a quarterback. But I just think even if Aaron Rodgers were to go to the Broncos, they would be the limiting reactant of Aaron Rodgers' success. Raiders, to me, don't make no sense because I don't trust that organization. I don't trust Gruden. I don't trust none of that. For me, it's the 49ers, and you can get the most back from the 49ers. 3rd overall pick, a couple first-round picks, I would do it.
Yeah, look, the Raiders stop. It's not going to happen there. Still building. Derek Carr even had a career year, so I don't think that would happen, but Aaron Rodgers knows what he wants. Denver, even though there's talent, especially to run a game, receiver, nah. Aaron Rodgers can't beat out Teddy Bridgewater, can he? Whatever. But those are not the teams in contention. It's the San Francisco 49ers that we're really going to talk about this. Golly, I got to flip the coin. No, man, here's the problem with going to San Fran. Aaron Rodgers goes there. Expectations are we have to win the Super Bowl, which is fine because you're Aaron Rodgers MVP. You're ready for that. Problem is, are you going to win the Super Bowl? Problem is, are you even going to win your conference? Tampa Bay is bringing back the whole entire squad. That hasn't happened since 1979. When a team did that, the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1979, you know what they did? They repeated as champions. So what's this to the legacy of Aaron Rodgers? You leave Green Bay in your consecutive NFC Championship game appearances and your 1 Super Bowl appearance. You go where Jimmy G just left or got traded, and you don't win another Super Bowl. What? Do you know how bad they will make you look, even though how great you really are in that conversation? It's a setup for failure because the only way he can do anything to improve the 49ers' fate and his perception is win it all. And this is the worst time to try and win it all, especially coming out the NFC.
But all things considered, let's go back about 19 months if we can. Not even that far, 15 months. Remember who the Packers lost to in the NFC Championship game?
Yeah.
Not this past one, the 49ers. 49ers beat the brakes off them
early
because of that defense, because of Bosa, because of Warner. Even Sherman, I believe, had a pick in that game. So Aaron Rodgers was looking like, wait, all things considered, the 49ers have a better team, a better core than we, the Packers, do. And if you take me, who's the greatest thing on the Packers, and you insert me on the team that smacked me just 15 months ago, which has a better core. Obviously, that Niners team had Emmanuel Sanders, it had Tevin Coleman, it had some other resources. But Aaron Rodgers is looking like, if you take me and put me on the team that molly-whopped me, imagine how good we can be. So I think, Sal, if you Aaron Rodgers, you looking like, yo, we already got a squad if I go to San Fran.
It's the Kevin Durant upside. Hey, we're 3-1 up on Golden State. Oh, we lose to them. Now I go to Golden State. We win a couple championships. I get whatever. That's the upside. Here's the downside. You couldn't do more than Jimmy G. Aaron Rodgers, hey, bro. Bosa. Oh, you banking on Bosa, who's missed the entire season this second year, and I love me some Bosa. However, dog, I don't know how durable Bosa is. He has to prove that. You're talking about Richard Sherman. Like, all the names you listed are either coming off injury or not even there. So, collect ourselves. This draft for the San Francisco 49ers, this moment of time for the San Francisco 49ers is going to tell us a lot. But Aaron Rodgers, I hate to have to climb this skyscraper and only looking for this one little thing, which is to get this team over that hump. And if they don't do it with Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, oh, it will come down on you, Aaron. Coming up, we're getting closer to the NFL draft. We'll give you our own experiences from draft day. That's next on Speak for Yourself. Look at them shirts. I love it.
The NFL draft is just a few hours away, and you see your boy drafted in the 6th round back in 2012 by the Browns. And there's that dude, Marcellus Earrings in. He was picked in the 2nd round in 97 by the Bills. So, Sal, talk to me about your draft day experience, man.
Oh, man, I already spent that money. You saw him blinging. I just want to give us a moment to flex because we're the only show where both hosts got drafted on
Talk about it.
the holiday
Talk
of the
about
NFL
it.
draft today right now. I want to explain to fans what it really feels like. It feels like when you're at the top of that roller coaster, Colossus, Goliath, that nervous excitement, because you're like, oh my God, I made it up here. And it's like, dang, but the fun is about to begin. And that's how it was, man. It was an amazing moment, and it felt so good.
Yo, it was crazy, Sal, because, like, you don't know where you're going to get drafted.
Right.
I heard anywhere from the 2nd to the 5th round. All of a sudden, 3rd round goes by, looking at my phone. 4th round goes by, looking at my phone. 5th round goes by, looking at my phone. I'm like, you know, I might not have service in this draft. Hey, Mom, y'all pay the bill? Anyway, I got the call in the 6th round. I don't know the area code. It's Tom Heckert, the late Tom Heckert. Acho, hey, Cleveland Browns here, want to draft you. Talk to our head coach, Pat Shurmur. Life-changing opportunity, life-changing event. And the NFL was just that next step on the route to both of our roads of trying to be great.
Oh, I got that call, too. Hey, Marcellus Wiley, this is Barb Levy. Would you like to be a Buffalo Bill? I was like, yes, yes. Oh, man, it's an amazing moment. Huh?
Did you cry?
Not then. You're going to make me cry right now. That's it for us. Talk Bet Live is next. Calm down, Acho. Oh, still feel it.